Hello Yellow Nation. In this video I'm going to be showing how to recreate this flounce using pink fabric instead, and it is so much fuller than what I saw in the picture, but that was what I was going for. Anyway, so now this is the dress that I want to recreate the flounce on, and what you're going to do is you're going to first of all measure the circumference of the area that you want the flounce to start and where you want it to end. So I just trace the way the flounce goes. It goes straight like that, and then it curves to that other side. And when I measured everything, it was about 25 inches. So that is what you are going to do. That's the first step you are going to take before you know how much you are going to, how much flounce, how much fabric you actually need. Now normally you might want to start from the edge of the dress, but because this person is a big size person, that's why I did not start from the edge. I started from the side. When you start from the side like that, it sort of like gives an illusion that your client is slimmer than your client actually is. So what we're going to do now is to get our satin fabric, and then I'm going to fold it into four like this. Folding it into four like this makes me have like a circle skirt kind of effect. That's because I want my flounce to be very full. It's even fuller than the original that I wanted. Now after folding it into four like this, I'm going to then use the measurement that I recorded before. It was 25 I recorded. I'm going to multiply that by 2, and that is going to be 50. Now, to know how you are going to cut your cone to get your circle skirt, you have to divide your 50 by 6.28 to know how to be able to get the circumference, or sorry, the radius that you need to divide your flounce. So what I mean is that you will take 50 divided by 6.28. I think I got, let's say, about 8-ish, sure. So I'm going to just take that 8, and because that's what I calculated, I'm going to get it from the tip of my folded fabric like that, and I'm going to then measure 8 inches round about it. So at that first tip I measured 8, then I'm going to move my tape rule to the other end and measure 8, and then just like measure 8 round, and that will be the cone that I need to cut out the 50 that I need for my fabric. But remember that I'm going to cut 2 circle skirts. I'm cutting 2 circle skirts because I need one of it to line the other. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I folded it again. I'm going to fold it again such a way that it's going to be folded into 4 the first time, and then I'm going to just fold it one more time. Okay, so that will be 8 folds. But if this is confusing, you can just cut your first circle skirt and then cut another circle skirt to have 2 circle skirts. But you know me, I like the Jomo way to make it as fast as possible and accurate at the same time. So that's why I folded into 8 like that. But if it got confusing, just fold your circle skirt, the first one, cut your first circle skirt, then use your first circle skirt to cut the lining of the circle skirt. So now remember the 8 inches that I talked about as the radius for my circle skirt. I'm measuring that 8 inches roundabout is like that, and connecting all my points together. So then at the bottom I'm going to measure 10 inches. Now bear in mind that I'm using 2 yards of satin to do all of this magic. That's just 2 yards of satin. So if you have up to 2 yards of satin, you can make this happen. If you don't have up to 2 yards of satin, then you have to make it with the on-full method by just simply pleating a long strip of fabric. Now the long strip of fabric will be the 25, for example, multiplied by 3. So you need like 75 inches of long fabric folded into 10 inches, because that's the length of the flounce. And then you can use that to pleat on your fabric to show the nice skinny, but it will not be as full as using this circle skirt method. If you did not understand that part, you can always ask me in the comment section. I'm going to explain it again. You know anything, me, I got you. So now I'm going to just cut out the circle skirt, or my flounce circle skirt, the way I am cutting it right now. So I have 2 different circle skirts, one as the main fabric and the other one as my lining. So this is what we have. Now if you notice, our flounce is just dancing in the air, forming raw body. It is not stiff enough. And if we put the flounce like that on the dress, it will not be stiff, it won't stand the way we want it to stand. And that's why we are introducing the stiffener. Drum roll. Okay, So now this stiffener is going to add in our satin fabric a little bit, give it backbone, make it strong for the fight, make it a gladiator. That is what the stiffener is for. So I'm going to take the stiffener and I'm going to cut it like I'm cutting another circle skirt. So this stiffener, I got it on wawak.com. I'm going to put the description in the description below, so you can see where I got it from and what listing it is. It is very good. It is like affordable, and you get like 5 yards of it or something like that. Don't worry, Wawak is not giving me any money for this advert, even though I wish they were, but it's okay. I like Wawak, so I will do free advert for them. So I will fold my main satin lining or fabric, either the lining or the main one. Both of them are exactly the same size anyway, and I'm going to place it on the interface or the stiffener. It's called a stiff interface or middleweight interface, whatever it is, but it is stronger than just ordinary interface. If you are in Nigeria, for example, we call it add stay. So if you're in Nigeria, you can get add stay, or you can get like middle stay. I don't know if there's middle stay, but I know that add stay will do the work. So I'm cutting it like that. So I've used the satin or the lining or whatever to cut out the shape of it on my stiffener. So now I have it, and I'm going to place the stiffener, rough edge of the stiffener, to the inside of my satin. I cut out the edge so that I can have a longer stuff, instead of it folded into two. And then I'm going to place it like this, and I'm going to iron it all the way around and bring it right back. So now I have ironed my I've ironed the lining. This is going to be the lining, because if you notice that once I ironed the stiffener on it, it's not as smooth as it was before. So that part that I added interface will now become my lining. Now I'm going to then sew my smooth satin on top of it, round about it like that. And then once we do that, our flounce is quarter to ready to become a flounce. So after turning it, I'm then going to iron it, and then I'm going to stitch the top of my flounce. You see, I already did it. I already ironed it, stitched the top of my flounce, and this is what we have so far. My flounce is ready to be folded and to be bent over and to beautify my lace dress. So now that I have this, I'm going to sort of like give it a structure right there on the table first before taking it to my lace, especially for those who don't have you don't have the body form. Exactly, if you don't have body form, or you don't have mannequin, you can always do it flat in the flat way before then sewing it on your fabric. So this is a good way for you to do it. So I'm trying to follow the structure that I saw on the dress. So I made a first pleat that was big. So this is the first big pleat. I measured about 6 inches. I made my first big pleat, and then I make tiny pleats, and then I make all the pleats. So now after doing all of that, I made sure I sew it down first. So all this process will be very easy for you to actually do when it is time for you to put it on the mannequin itself. Do you see what I'm going for? This is exactly what I'm going for, and it is looking easy to do. Now let's take it to the mannequin and place it on the mannequin. And let's go back to my nice voice.
Normally with this style, you're supposed to start the place from the side here and bring it forward. Something like this, you start from here and bring it here. Now, but because my client is a plus size client, she's a little bit big, I don't want to start from here, because I want to sort of like give the illusion that our waist is slimmer, or that especially the waist area, that the waist area is slimmer than it actually is. So to give that illusion, you shouldn't put it in here, because it will show how wide the waist is. But if we put it here, for example, and it goes like this, it's going to look as if our waist entered here and come out here. I don't know if you understand the analogy that I gave, but this is like a good way to give a client waist where she doesn't have, give a client slimmer waist where she doesn't have slimmer waist. So because of that, I'm going to start my I'm going to place it around here and shape it in such a way as if I'm cutting out part of the waist to give it a smaller waist illusion. So because I want the shiny part to be outside, because this is the shinier part. If you look at this is the side that the stay is on, so it's not as shiny as this part. So I don't want this part of it won't showing. So I'm gonna put it like this. This is what we are going for, something like this. Let me just pin it so you have an idea of what it's going to look like. Like that, and then your designer flounce, you know, whatever, it's ready. And isn't she lovely? It's so beautiful, it's so pretty. So now look at the first place that I tagged it. Let me bring it a little bit closer. I tagged it here right before the edge right here, because you're still going to turn your fabric with lining, so you don't want to put it right up here. You want to put it here. Just give it like 0.5 inches allowance to be able to turn it inside out. So that is why I tagged it from here and not from the top here. Now in some instances, in the popular designs that I've seen, they put like appliques all over here, but my client doesn't want appliques, so I have to find a way to tuck this in while I sew. So I'm probably going to like sew it. I'm going to sew it like this. Look at that. I'm going to sew it like this on the inside, following my design, so that I can bring it out like this and then tack it down here. It will still have the, you know, illusion, but it's going to be cleaner here. So everything here on this side will be clean like this. And it's a little bit rough. My pin keeps slipping off, but once I finish, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like on the inside. By the time I finish sewing it, it's like an L shape or like a RFU shape. This is what it looks like on the inside by the time I finish sewing it. So I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to put this pin here and pin it like this. So these are the places that I'm going to use my needle and thread to sew. I'm just going to take it at the back here. This lining, I'm going to match this lining here. It's like this, and I'm going to just take this one as well, and I'm going to tack it right here with needle and thread, of course. And that's it. That is it. This is exactly what we're going for. If you don't want it to be this full, then you don't have to use like you don't have to use the circle method. You can just use the pleating method, or you can like the long rectangle. You can just make a long rectangle and then pleat it to this, you know, shape or form. But I want it to be very full, and that is why I use the circle method to create this beautiful flounce. So thank you very much for watching. Till next time, bye. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Bye.